Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toku Portal podcast for Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. I'm Vashi V, and joining me today is...
Right. This is episode 47, the penultimate episode.
And my god, what an episode.
Oh man, what a journey we have gone on with this series. It's like, we had our doubts at the beginning because it didn't seem like it was really going anywhere. But, we've actually come a long way. Most of it in the last arc, yes, but still.
Most of it in the last arc, but it's more the realization of how certain things have been playing out since the beginning that we didn't really pay attention to until it was like bam in our face. And to preface your statement, it's like a series starting out slow and all that. It's not bad, because that's what Lupat did, but Lupat kept the same kind of pace the entire way through because it was more focused on the characters rather than the world. Whereas this is focused on everything, so that first good portion of the show is world building, and my god, is that boring in a show, especially if it's slow. But this series has gotten phenomenal. Like when this first started, I want to say is like we were still like 10 or 12 episodes into it, and I'm like, I didn't really care whether or not I watched it or not. Like I was the only reason why I was watching it by that point was just to do the podcast. Is like, and then it things got real quick, and I'm like, oh, okay, yes, I'm down.
Like, I'm not sure when the turning point for me was. I just remember, around the middle, we were talking about how great Wizero and Creon are as villains. And that we felt like the Ryusoulgers weren't really stepping up as the main characters. But now, we agree that at least half of them are good characters.
I'll agree. Most of them are. I'm still not sold on one.
Yeah, Melto is kind of the weakest member.
But at least he knows it and owns it. Like, every character has had, their defining moment throughout this series. This is standard in any Sentai series. Q Ranger notwithstanding, because there were way too many people in that one. But
everyone got ripped.
Everybody just got ripped on that, except for Lucky and Suguri. Oh, and then the 8-year-old kid. But with this show is like everybody's had that defining moment that clearly defines what makes them amazing. Melto's had a moment or two like that, but it was still kind of meh.
Like, I feel like every character has really come out of their own and into their role, except for Melto. Like, he's just bland.
Oh, there's a reason Terry Mago calls him Salt.
'Cause he's plain. And he's really only worth it if you mix him with someone else.
It's like, because really the only thing that sold him as a character was the fact that he could logically think about things. Like, he was the tactician, which would be good if it was actually needed to have one. But 9 times out of 10, it's literally just kick his ass.
Like, occasionally they throw him a bone and have him be the one to figure out the monster's weakness. But that is far and few in between.
Right. Like,
I feel like the fact that we had to have an episode early on that was just a pity party for him complaining that no one listens to him speaks a lot to how necessary his role even was.
and the sad thing is, based on that episode, he should still be having that pity party.
Because, like, nothing's changed. Yeah, they listen to him when he talks now, but he doesn't need to talk.
Like, I firmly believe that he's literally only there just for the comedic value of him dating the 100-year-old child.
Kanalo has acknowledged him as his brother-in-law.
That, and to get made fun of by Tiramigo. That's about his only reason for existence at this point.
Like, we had like something going for him in that episode where it's like, okay, so Melto treats the Kishiryu like tools rather than like they have souls. And that wasn't really resolved at the end of the episode because Melto still didn't kind of get it. But we never went back to that.
Right. Like, the closest we got to it was with him deciding to basically do what Ko wanted and save Pakigaru. And reunite him with his dad, dinosaur bot,
Mother,
kangaroo
I
thing.
think. Was it his mother or his father? I don't know anymore.
I don't remember anymore, and all you ever hear is Pakigaru, so...
Pakigaru was the parent, Chibigaru is the baby, voiced by Gokai Yellow / Washi Pink.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Chibigaru is about the only one we ever hear speak.
Sometimes Piton if Oto feels like being in an episode.
Which those are always great episodes. Like, looking back at this series as a whole, is like, as much as I was disturbed by her character and her infatuation with Melto, for a multitude of reasonings, A, that's kind of creepy when you think about it. Well, or rather, it's really creepy if you don't think about it, because the longer you think about it, the weirder it gets. But then the fact that she's also has a crush on the most bland person there. Her taste
It's
in
the
men
anime
suck.
hair.
Yeah, it's because it's blue and it reminds her of the water. Anybody, and if anybody can argue with me on that, fight me. Give me a better reason, and I'll concede that. Until then, fight me.
So, getting into this episode, did you also have to go back to the end of previous episode to remind yourself what happened?
No.
Hey, Decade's here!
Holy fuck, hello, Decade.
Oh. We're basically just starting because we were just doing a little, like, review of how we felt about the series up till now.
Oh, perfect. So, next episode is the last one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, how did you feel about the series when it started versus how you feel about it now?
I didn't hate it at the beginning. It was interesting, but I wasn't super into it. But yeah, it's definitely grown on me, and I'm actually gonna miss these characters and the show when it's done.
I'm gonna miss Asuna.
Out of everybody, I'm gonna miss Asuna the most too. Well, that and I'm gonna miss Bomba telling people to strip.
Yeah,
because that is something that will stick with me out of this series forever.
Take it off. What? Yeah. The only thing that I kind of didn't like was when it became like the Red toy show. That was a bit annoying, but then we went back to focusing on everyone, and yeah, the show's been solid for a pretty good run now.
I think that what saved it from it being the Red Toy Show was the fact that once they debuted, other people started using the crap.
Yeah.
Even if it was far and few in between for it to be used.
It more or less went how I predicted. Like, Red gets to use it, and then someone else gets to use it. Excuse me. So, back to my question. Did either you also have, when you started this episode, pause go back to the last episode to rewatch like the end to remind you what happened, and then come back to this one?
No, I kind of had a feeling just from watching Kamen Rider and Sentai that we're going with some dream stuff. But yeah, it was definitely random.
Like the way it dropped into it, it was one of those. I'm like, wait, that. As soon as it was like, hey, we're not in the middle of nowhere and things look good. I'm like, oh, okay, they're asleep. Good.
I just wasn't expecting them to be asleep already. Which is what it was so jarring to me. It's like, wait, did I forget how the last episode ended? Nope.
Like, this is usually like a plot device that gets used earlier on in the series. So to have it be like last minute is, I think, more what throws everybody with it. Because if this had happened early on in the series, nobody really would have questioned it. But literally because we were in the middle of shit just got real, and then, wait a minute.
So, welcome to the end of Naruto.
Again, you're still not wrong.
Because this is, no joke, what happens at the end. I think Madara or Kageyama or whoever, the goddess lady maybe, like they summon the fucking tree, trap everyone inside, and trap them in their perfect world dream state.
I didn't even know that. I was getting more, like, not just from this ending, but in general, kind of like Gato vibes, like with the whole Master Black thing, and then now this final boss being like some god-like creature. Feels very, very Gato-like to me.
Like, no joke, this is the ending to Naruto. This exact thing happens.
And I wish you were actually wrong on that, but you're not. Having finished Naruto, this is exactly what happens.
This is exactly what happens. You even get the montage of like people experiencing their perfect worlds.
And then you also get the friendship is magic speech. Like at the end of it, you get the friendship is magic thing.
So pleasant surprise for all of us. In Ko's dream world, he's best friends with Nada, who is alive. And apparently killer at ping pong.
Which we never actually got to watch him play ping pong, did we?
No.
Because he went out and talked to Ko before all that shit happened. Like that was nice to see, and then followed by what happens next.
Kanalo is finally getting married. Toa wants to see the world. Bamba gets to train Master Black. Melto has women actually hitting on him. And Asuna wins an eating contest.
Because of course she does. Like this is one of those things where certain things signify their tropes. Like Asuna's eating, Banba's seriousness for training, the allegory of Toa's speed, wanting to see the world, and all that is like that can kind of tie in there. And then Ko just wants to go shopping and play ping pong with Nada, with his dead friend. And then, of course, when Kanalo gets married.
And the woman that he's marrying, her actress was in a couple of episodes of Kamen Rider Zeo, but ultimately she has not played any major roles.
That was something that's like I didn't pay attention to who he was marrying.
I wasn't sure who she was, so I looked it up.
Like having watched it, like my brain just filtered out to it was just like that standard trope of you never see her face, despite the fact that we saw her face.
You know, it's just a woman that they got to do the part. Uh, so during each of their sequences, though, they all like, hold on. Sorry. They're all like at their peak happiness, and then they turn, and there's nothing there, and they're like, "Huh, wonder what that was about." Which we later find out, like, oh, they're turning to see their friends who are not there, and they don't even realize it.
Like I and the fun the to me the funny thing is like Melto's was the one that was more legit, is because he absent-mindedly just ordered a shit ton of drinks,
At
like
first,
one
I
for
thought
all
it
of his
was like,
friends.
oh, all those women that are like, hey, that guy's cute. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, they all order the drinks for him. But it's like, no, he ordered drinks
He
for people that don't exist in this world.
is like, and that was one of those moments where I'm like, oh, poor Melto, which is the only time I have ever thought that.
Decade, your thoughts?
Actually, with the Melto thing, I thought he ordered for Otto.
Well, one of them would have been that one that was really fruity.
hmm
And a cherry on top.
But yeah, it was cute. The character writing has been pretty solid for everyone past couple of weeks. And I actually watched. I finally looked up who the writer was for the show, and I've seen another drama that he did, and it had a lot of good emotional character stuff as well.
Oh, what was it?
Uh, GTO, Great Teacher Onizuka.
Uh,
Wait,
But it was like it's been remade a couple times. I think it was like the 2012 version.
haven't heard of it, but hey,
Basically, the high school teacher is like uh, delinquent or Yankee, as they say. It's pretty cool.
it's based off a manga that's really funny,
hmm
and yeah, the I've seen a few episodes of the periodic remakes of it, and they're fantastic.
so uh, Creon wakes Ko up from his dream. Uh, uh, and when all the Ryu soldiers are awake, they find that, oh, the Kishiryu have already formed the mech on their own to fight against Hellas, who has grown giant. And then
Which
Yaba's sword jumps in to like, hey, people are awake, kill.
I love the fact that the mech is already formed, because this is one of those things that didn't really happen. Yeah, they've come running into battle unpiloted, but they've never fought on their own.
Right.
So like it's one of those, my brain keeps ignoring the fact that it's sentient, which is nothing new in Sentai, because hell, the fucking what we know as Power Rangers, Zoo Ranger, their mech was sentient. Not that it ever mattered really. But because of the fact that we've never seen this mech used in any way, shape, or form without a pilot, I forgot that this was a possibility.
It's a rare occurrence.
But I love the fact that Creon was the one who woke him up. Because one of those, it was like, hey, pay attention, something's wrong, come on.
Speaking of something being wrong, Hellas fucking blows up half the goddamn city. And the Kishiryu protect the Ryu soldiers by making a shield in front of them.
Yeah, it was like Destra all over again. Oh wait, was it Destra or was it who blew up the city in this path?
In this series?
No, in
No,
Lupat.
in Lupat.
Was that Destro or was it the Grant?
It might have been
I,
Dogranio.
I think it was
Yeah.
Dogranio.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, he fucked up the city pretty good too. I think this was kind of worse.
So you're probably wondering, where's Wiseru? Well, he's also trying to wake people up until Yabasort attacks him. And remember, Wiseru is a coward.
One of my favorite moments in this episode, because all I can think of is something Witty Entertainment is doing an abridged version of My Hero Academia, and there's a point in it when All Might's waking up Deku after he's passed out, and it's just wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. That's all I could think of. Is just him running around going, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up on everybody. And then just getting caught by Yabasort and going, fuck. But it's nice to see these two doing something good. Not because it's the right, but really because it's the right thing to do, rather than just this is what the story calls for. Is like with everything that these two characters have been through, it makes sense that these two would be doing that. They figured out the truth and kind of went, fuck that shit.
Our role was to protect this world from the Ryusoulgers, but now the one destroying the world is Hellas.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting plot twist. And I definitely like the way Crayon and Wiseru have been. It's like they're not necessarily good guys, but they just took a break from being bad guys. So that's fun.
Like, and it was done in a natural way too. Because we've had this trope for years now, where the bad guys just up and switch teams. I mean, hell, Geki Ranger did it. Frickin' a good portion of them did it. Fucking Kyu Ryuger did it. The Sixth Ranger for Tokuger did it. But it's rare that it's written as well as it is. Like, Tokuger's was written fantastically. For why he switched. But other ones are just kind of either A, somebody worse has shown up, so fuck this guy, or they just go, we're switching teams. It's like having it written as well as it did, and especially with Creon, it was truly written the best. And then it just, because Creon's was written so well, it bled over to Wiseru, with him basically going over Wiseru and going, hey, no, we're getting the short end of the stick, right? Let's go find out why.
So, Melto, Asuna, and Creon all get eaten by Hellas. So to break out, Melto tells Creon to make a Minosaur from him. We get that Minosaur from Melto's nightmare again, which busts them out, and then tries to solo Hellas, but unfortunately dies in one hit. Which, fair, but, that was one of the stronger Minosaurs they ever had to fight.
Like, that was one of those things I'm like, that was a great plan. Let's see how it fails. And not really to be harsh on Melto's, like, but because, I mean, come on, we're on the final boss. He starts getting his shit kicked in by basically a general monster of the week. There's a problem. And then also, yes, because it was Melto.
Also, remember that part where Asuna said, why don't we just uproot Hellas and defeat her that way? Well, Melto realized, hey, Hellas just uprooted herself. Now's our chance to defeat her.
It's nice to have some, validity to her plan that everybody dismissed because they thought she was being stupid.
And are now giving credit to Melto for coming up with.
Yeah, but all that gets washed away in a few moments.
Decade. Thoughts?
Yeah, it was written pretty well. I didn't realize, but like watching it again, there are a bunch of those trees that have people in the pods,
Yes.
real creepy like. Yeah, so of course, Sentai logic, defeat the monster, then it'll free everyone. But yeah, this was a pretty creepy final arc, even if it is a Naruto ripoff.
I mean, because my response to that was going to be that's literally how they freed everybody in Naruto.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I mean-
I was literally gonna say, like, well, you should see the end of Naruto. We're not gonna let this go. We're not gonna let this go. Alright, so. Krion and Wizero go hide behind a rock.
Quite literally.
Like, yes, that's it. That's the note.
Like, I think that was my favorite, one of my little favorite moments of Krion and Wiser, because to be fair, there wasn't much this episode. It's like, but that to me had to have been my favorite of Krion ending up out of the thing. Wiser was behind her, like, come here, come here, come here. It's right over here. It would have only been better if he held up the ninjutsu tarp.
So, the group all transforms together, and Hellas starts tossing them around like ragdolls. And they're knocked out of their transformations again. They stand up to fight, but Kanolo is having his doubts. Like, hey, maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe everyone will be happier inside the dreams.
Which, to be fair, is a rational thought.
Especially since he finally got his lifelong dream of getting married in his. Decade?
And then we get... yeah, I'll let you say your piece, and then I'm going to segue into the next piece.
Yeah, it was. There was some decent build up the past couple episodes. Kanalo being kind of like hesitant at times, so that was good. It wasn't just out of nowhere. But yeah, just overall in this next scene, the acting was just awesome.
Like, in terms of like the moment of lowest hope for the end of a Sentai season, like, this is super well done because you have one of them actually break down, ready and willing to give up.
And then you have someone else break down to point out why they're wrong.
Right. Because normally, they just get real sad, and then someone says, but we can't lose hope, and then they all stand up and go, yeah, and they go back and fight. But here, like, no, this is a bit too real.
Oh, 100%. And to segue into it, fuck Ko, Asuna the leader.
Yeah, no. When Kanalo is starting to get to everyone, and they're all starting to think, could that be the correct answer? Even Ko is starting to have his doubts, and is left speechless. And it's Asuna who bursts in saying, no, we can't give in to that. You know what my dream was? It was a dream without any of you in it. I couldn't even hold your hands. And she breaks down in tears, trying to convince them. It is the best.
like to me the one thing I'm reminded of from it, and it's primarily because I kept seeing it on Tumblr today, is in the Super Sentai Great Battle Royal, whatever the hell it was,
Psycho
that little
Battle.
4 week, yeah. There's a scene where Yamato, the leader, the red for Zyuohger, is fighting other people.
Yep.
And he's fighting who is it? Who is it? Kaneko or Kakeru? Sorry, Kakeru. I forget what series he's from, but the speech he gives him is basically word for word exactly what Austin is right now. It says you're passionate like a red should be. Being a leader, you can't motivate others without passion, but I guess it can be hard to see that fire at first glance. That's literally describing Asa, especially in this moment, is her passion has reached that boiling point, and here it is. This is a moment that is typically given to the red.
And instead, the pink is the one who has it because, hey, those dreams of happiness, those are just memories. I want to make new memories and meet new people in the future. Those dreams aren't real, and they won't make me happy. Decade, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm kind of rewatching it right now. This actually kind of reminds me of like when Poppy became good again, and I just want to keep.
She just wants to help people smile and play Doki Doki. I don't remember the game, but she just wants to make people smile and dance with them.
Like it's hands down one of the most beautiful moments in this show, because it's like, and we've commented on it before. It's like there are points in this show that are oddly extremely dark, and logically thinking about everything that's happening right now is like it's very dark. It's made lighthearted because hey, this is a kid show, and we realize how dark we made it earlier when somebody wanted to commit suicide. Like,
and Asuna was the one who talked them out of it. Both
oh yeah, let's not
times.
forget about that. Like, looking at it like realistically, like real life and all that, is like everything she says is true. Like, you don't want to live in the memories. Is like that's not living. Move forward, regardless of the troubles that you're dealing with. Move on, move forward, meet new people, have new experiences, and live life as best as you can. We're gonna fuck up. Things are gonna go bad. Keep moving forward. That's how you experience life. Otherwise, you're not experiencing anything new. If you're stuck in your head all the time, reliving memories, you're not gonna go anywhere. You're gonna be stuck in the same spot, and life sucks when you do that. Ask anybody with depression. That's pretty much depression right there. And just having her be that angry and sad all at the same time, I think is what truly made this speech for me.
And we segue from that into the roll call for the episode. Hey Vashi, I've got a few different ideas for what the final roll call in this series could be.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Because for this roll call, the Kishiryu jump in. And while it's the Ryusoulgers who say their names in surprise as they appear, they all join in for the pose.
Which is fucking fantastic. like I think what truly made it is like, not every single one got named. And not every single one was there, because Shine Raptor and Cosmo Raptor weren't there.
Yes, they were. Cosmo
They
Raptor
were?
was there. Yes.
I did not see that one. But it goes through the main 5, and then it's like, oh, and everybody else is here. And Pakigaru goes, hey, what the fuck you mean everybody? Say my name. Which my brain translated to, bitch, say my name.
Even Maso Rex is here.
Floating in water.
And he hates the
sky.
surface.
But I think what truly made it was Demi Volcano doing his fucking let's ask a stupid fucking
thing.
riddle.
And
Which was something about a man
answers
in a sickle.
Right.
It was something about a man in a sickle, and Piton just turns around. Why would a man have that at home? Correct. Like, it wasn't a true roll call in the sense of, like, they didn't call out their own names or whatnot. It's like, but no, fuck you. That was they included the Kishiryu in the roll call, and that was fantastic.
Decade.
Yeah, that was pretty fantastic. We've been getting some really cool roll calls here lately. Like the one where they were out of suit and like walking through the fire. That one was so hardcore.
Oh, do you mean all of the final roll calls that we've been getting?
Yes, all of them.
It is literally the last 4 or 5 episodes have literally been, let's put every last roll call into a show.
I think the only one we haven't gotten is Helmetless, which they could do in the final episode, but at this point they could just not do a roll call and I'd be fine with it.
Like, I think why I would truly be okay with there not being a roll call in the next episode is because this episode basically ends on that.
Right.
And the fact that there was barely any fighting whatsoever this episode. You had the brief two moments where Hellas wrecked their shit, and that was about it. Everything else was character and drama and fucking amazing.
So, also as part of the final roll call, all the Ryusoulgers use a power-up form. So Ko has his max red whatever soul with not a thing. Asuna gets Pakigaru. Kanalo uses his electric soul. And Bamba uses the Maramara soul that we've seen him use and train with. So the 2 special ones, Melto is using Piton's soul, and Toa gets Cosmo soul.
Told you it would look good on green. Like this is the type of thing that I love when they do, is that let's do the roll call in the power-ups. Unless you're going to do that Juo Whale Eagle thing.
God damn.
But, yeah, it's like this was, hands down, the best roll call. And this is coming from somebody who really enjoys the mid roll calls and then transforming. I love that the best. But this was beautiful.
Like, this whole arc has been setting up to what is turning out to be a great finale for this series. Like, we had our doubts at the beginning, but it is ending on a real high note. When it comes to Sentai that turn around in the second half, this one is up there.
Also, as somebody who started out hating the fucking music in the show, my god, do I love it. I hated that fucking Irish fucking pirate music shit that they've used this entire series. But my god, when they use it in the right points, it's fucking hands down amazing.
And so that's where the episode ends. Next episode is the final one.
So yeah, just tune in next week when we talk about Hellas getting her ass kicked. Because come on, if anybody's never seen a fucking Sentai show, we know what's going to happen. It's just a matter of how.
So, Decade, any other thoughts?
No, it was pretty awesome seeing blue and green in those power ups. Hopefully they'll actually get to use them for a bit, because you don't really see it in the trailer for next week. They're just in their base forms.
It seems like through the preview that they get knocked out of their suits multiple times, but they just keep getting back up.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Yeah.
to be fair, standard thing, but ends up being amazing almost every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty solid. And then we have Machine Sentai Kira Major?
Yes.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
The Rainbow Gemstone Sentai.
Yeah.
With the weird gymnastic posing.
Outfit.
Green can fucking bend. Let me tell you.
Well, we all know who Rai's favorite character next season will be.
She knows how to wrap her leg. Okay, it's in her pose. You can't blame me for this.
I will judge you for it nonetheless, no matter how much I thought it myself.
Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow for Kamen Rider 01. And a special surprise, Power Rangers Beast Morphers Season 2 has started airing. So we'll be back on Thursday for our new podcast featuring that. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
Yep, thanks for listening.